Hello everyone. I just wanted to share with you some of the things that, or one of the things that I had been reading, and I kind of put together. I guess you can call it a Bible study. I don't know. I was studying the Bible, so I guess you can call it a Bible study. But I was reading in Matthew's, and in Matthew's, there's a lot of parables that Jesus uses to compare natural things or worldly things to how our relationship should be with Him or how our life should be spiritually. So I was reading Matthew's chapter 13, verses 24 and 30. And I'll read it for you and tell you just like a little bit about what I got from it. Um, I love the message version of the Bible, the message Bible, so that's where I'm reading from if the words don't sound, King James and stuff like that. But it says, he told another story, which is a parable. He told another story. God's kingdom is like a farmer who planted good seed in his field. And that night, while his hired men were asleep, the enemy sowed thistles all through the wheat and slipped away before dawn. When the first green shoots appeared and the grain began to form, the thistles showed up too. The farmhands came and to the farmer and said, Master, that was clean seed you planted, wasn't it? Where did these thistles come from? He answered, Some enemy did this. The farmhands asked, Should we weed out these thistles? He said, No. If you weed out the thistles, you'll pull up the weed too. Let them grow together until harvest time. They'll instruct the harvesters to pull up the thistles and tie them in a bundle for the fire and gather the wheat to put in the barn. And I was reading and I was praying and I was like, okay, God, what does this mean? How does this apply to me? How can I help others? How does this apply to others, us as believers? And I was thinking, I was like, Jesus uses a parable about us in Matthew's chapter 13, verse 24 through 30. And in this parable, he is talking about how within this world are righteous people and wicked people. And what I notice is that within us we have the capability to be one or the other at any given time in our lives. And what starts off as righteousness can easily turn into wickedness. And this happens because we start believing that we don't need God for everything. And the truth is, apart from God, there can be no righteousness. And at the end of our life, will we be the wheat that is kept, or will we be the weeds that are burned? Will we be kept with God in heaven, or will we be those weeds that's thrown away and burned? Because like I said, the farmer asked, "Do you want me to pull up the thistles?" And he was like, "No, let them go together." So we're living in this world. There's righteous people, there's wicked people, and God is just not automatically going and throwing these people out, or killing these people off the earth. He's letting us grow together, but in due time, in harvest time, basically when Jesus comes back, we're going to be kept. The righteous people are going to be kept. And we're the wheat. The weeds, the wicked people that are no good, are going to be thrown away and burned. And so, the only way to be the wheat is to remain in His presence, to read His word, to honor Him by obeying Him, to worship Him, to stay in His presence, because we are naturally weeds, and this is something that takes no effort. It's effortless to be weed. You're just there. You're weed. You're not doing anything. And if I am to be a weed, I have to work extra hard. I have to stay in my word. I have to stay before God's grace. I have to continue to love God and continue to obey God. And if my life seems like I'm putting in no effort, then unfortunately I am being a weed. My life our lives have to take work and faith. And when we start to feel comfortable, that's when we know that we're in jeopardy of being a weed.